Hello and welcome back to my workshop for another of my little Jeti training videos. And in this one we're going to look at an interesting problem for models like the Saab Gripen with canards. I was sent a question by someone who was asking could he use my videos about programming the car Eurosport for programming his little Saab Gripen, where he wants the canards to have the switched option to act as ailerons as well as elevators. And my immediate reaction was, oh, too easy, just mix aileron into the canards. But when I checked that, it doesn't work, because you've got two canard servos, but the system doesn't recognize them as being left and right. So it doesn't matter what you try to do with mixing aileron to it, they'll always move the same way still as elevators. So I had to think up some other solution to this. Now there's two solutions here. One is when you're selecting the wing type for this delta would be to select a 4 aileron version. See 4 ailerons. Ignore the flaps. We'll just remove any control from it and we'll delete any flap servos. And then of your 4 ailerons, 1, 2, 3 and 4, you'd say there's your actual elevon. That would be the left canard. Servo 3 would be the right canard, and servo 4 again is your elevon. And then of course down here in tail type you would select elevon. And what you can do then is in the elevon menu would be go to servo 2 and 3 and change their aileron travel values to 0, and then they won't act as ailerons. And then you could create a mixer, elevator to aileron, switchable, and then it works. So the canards would work as elevators all the time, but become ailerons as well with the mixer switched in. The only thing I don't like about that is when you're looking to adjust your canard travels, canard servos, canard function, you actually haven't got a separate function to do it. And you've got to remember that aileron servo 2 and aileron servo 3 are actually the canard, not the elevons. So I thought, yes, technically it all works, but it's not so easy to keep track of things, and you can't implement canard functions because it's actually an elevon function. So what I'm going to do is say stick to the 2 aileron delta. Okay, so we'll move on from there. So there's a standard delta setup. What we're going to do is add a canard function twice. That gives us the separate controls of it. So canard function left, I'll say, and its control is going to be the elevator stick. And we'll also add canard function right. Okay, and once again, elevator control P2. There we go, we can move on from there. Now we can see we've got aileron 1 and aileron 2, that's our elevon servos. And we've got canard left and canard right. I'm going to rearrange these just for the sake of it showing up nicely in this demonstration. You don't need to in reality. So I'll take that as aileron 1, that as aileron 2. Remember, those would be left wing, right wing, canard left, canard right. So when we're watching the servo monitor here, we'll be able to see how they compare nicely. Okay, I'll just pop that one off to rudder so it doesn't work at the same time, messing things about. Create and activate model, yes, okay, no, receivers, menu, let's have a look. Okay, so 3 and 4 are our elevon servos, so they respond to aileron like that, and they respond to elevator like that, because the Jeti elevon mixer defaults to 50% travel for each. And then 5 and 6 are the canard servos. We can see that they're not responding to aileron, if I move the aileron stick, but they are responding to elevator. And since they're probably handed on different sides, the same way that the elevon servos are, you can see by default they're sort of going the wrong way in response. So what we'll do is reverse servo 6. You may not have to in yours, but it certainly works for our demonstration. It's okay to that. Let's check now then. Do all servos left and on the right hand side match each other when I pull elevator? Yes, they do. They're all going outwards there, inwards there, and then the ailerons are doing that. So that's got our canards working quite happily, same as the elevons. Right, let's mix our aileron into it. So we come to fine tuning, 3 mixes, and we're of course going to need 2 mixers because we've got 2 functions here. So we'll mix aileron 2, canard left, come down to the advanced, pick a master value for the moment. I'll give it 80%, 70, 80, let's go for 80%. And the switch, which will be this one here. Okay. And that's it. We don't need to change the single-sided, etc. Let's have a look. So once again, 5 and 6 are our canard servos, so it should respond with elevator. It does. Does it canard 5, because that's canard left, respond to aileron? No. Switch the mixer on. Yes, it does. So that's sorted out the canard left with the aileron. Say okay to that. Okay to that. Add one more from aileron to canard right, advanced. Now I'll show you a slight problem we run into straight away. Go to 80%, switch, clear it, do it again. There we go, same thing. Right, in we go. Switch the mixer on. Elevators working nicely. Now the aileron, we can see what's happened here is that the right hand canard is going the wrong way. That's easily solved, you see. Come back here and change it to the negative number. And now with the mixing switched on, everything works with elevator. Everything works with aileron. With the mixer off, everything still works with elevator, but only the 2 elevon servos work with aileron. And there we have it, solved.